Hey guys, welcome back, and before we jump into the video, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be doing a live Q&A today at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daytime on the J. Anthony channel. I'm going to have a link to the video description, so if you want to catch that, check out the link and come back today, Saturday, at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daytime. Today we're taking a look at Heitis, a new brand on Kickstarter. Now Heitis is bringing you some well-built quality pieces with good materials that crush overpriced fashion brand offerings that I see all the time and drive me nuts. So let's take a look at 3 of their offerings. Now right off the bat, the price for all these pieces are going to be well under $150 on Kickstarter. So we're going to start off with the Chronograph, which is the only one that doesn't have a Swiss Quartz movement and features the Miata Chronograph caliber quartz. Now this is a classic chronograph with 3 subdials that features a 24-hour counter at 3, running seconds at 6, and a 30-minute counter at 9. Now the color combo is black and red, which is my favorite color combo, and has the date tucked in at 4:30. Now the hour markers are applied, and the chapter ring along the perimeter of the dial gives you a minute track. Now the print on the dial is very clean, and my only criticism would be that while the black and red go really well for design, red print doesn't show that well on a black dial, and the word chronograph printed under the brand name doesn't show up as well as it would have if it was in white. Now the piece is legible in the dark with the hands showing up much better than the hour marker. I do wish there was that kind of same amount of lume applied to the hour markers as well. Now the bezel has a tachymeter, as so many chronographs do. Now the case on this piece is polished stainless steel, and the top and the lugs have a nice chamfered edge that leads to the case sides. Now the push-pull crown is nicely signed with an H, and the case back is a simple screw down with model, brand, and spec information. Now the band is a soft black leather band with red contrast stitching and a quick release feature that makes changing straps pretty easy. The matching polished pin buckle is also signed with the brand's name. Now obviously most of us tend to prefer automatics, but if you're ever looking for a quartz chronograph, this piece is certainly giving you value with the materials and build quality. Now next up is a piece that I think puts the likes of Daniel Wellington to shame. It's Heitis' classic. The PVD case is available with the black dial you see here, and is also going to be available with a white dial and a regular stainless steel case. Now this is classic minimalist design that can be dressed up or casual, and has a Swiss Quartz movement and a sapphire crystal. Now at 6 o'clock is the running sub-seconds hand that nicely balances the brand's name found at the top of the dial. It is very similar to the Daniel Wellingtons and better quality for a fraction of the price. Unlike the other 2 pieces that we're looking at, the Classic doesn't have any lume for nighttime legibility. But, like the chronograph we just looked at, this slim offering has a signed crown, quick release band, screw down case back, and a signed pin buckle. Now it's a very light and comfortable piece that I enjoyed wearing, even without the date. The last one that we're looking at is my favorite out of the lot, and it's Heitis' Aviator. Man, I love pilot watches. And this one is a Swiss Quartz variation on the classic Type B Flieger style dial, and again, in my favorite color combo. Now a nice touch is the minute track on the outer portion of the dial, which is raised from the remainder of the dial and gives it some very nice depth. The inner ring of the dial gives you the hours in red and 24-hour time in white. Now the Aviator print under the brand name is a little bit easier to make out on this one than the chronograph, but it still isn't as legible as it would be in white. Now at 3 o'clock there's an extended date window with a red arrow to the left of it for the current date. Now the first time I wore this in the dark, I couldn't help but smile. I love the way the minute track and numbers are completely loomed, and the hands obviously are as well. Now while I will say that it is fun with the lights out, the loom doesn't last as long as I would like. Now the Aviator is going to be available in a blasted style case and also in PVD. The PVD one looks pretty badass. Now the push-pull crown is signed just like the other examples that we've seen, and the screw-down case back has a pretty cool engraving along with the standard model information. Now the band is in keeping with the pilot styling and has a double release butterfly clasp that is also signed with the company's name. Now despite the specs of most of these being on the larger side, they actually all felt really good on the wrist, and I didn't feel like they were too big for me personally, which was really a nice surprise. Now I know these aren't going to be for everyone, but what I will say that I love about them is that they're giving people that just want a reliable watch some great options. Now I've seen watches that have specs that aren't as good as these go for hundreds more. Michael Kors comes to mind, and so does Daniel Wellington, and it drives me crazy. Now I'd love to hear what you guys think about these in the comments below, and if you like any of them for yourself or someone else, keep an eye out for the Kickstarter. Now if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and as always, if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. That's it for this one. CG, out.